This is Jana. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we are going to make pork tenderloins. That is a really big northern, north of the Mason-Dixon sandwich, and we sure love them. And so I've got a pork tenderloin. They come in different sizes. This is a pretty big one. And this will make a lot of sandwiches. Look at the price on this is $12. But this is going to, imagine if you just went to Chick-fil-A or McDonald's or something today and ordered a sandwich, how much that sandwich cost you. And so then multiply it down into having all of these sandwiches for $12 and an egg and a little buttermilk. So anyway, I am doing this over a paper towel, as you can see, because there's some juice, of course, in the plastic. I'll put that in my sink. All right, now, some of these you can buy them if you want to pay extra and don't want to do this part. There's like a silver skin right here. And so all you'll do is you'll take your knife and you're going to go in and you're going to do that real thin silver skin removal because it just makes it chewy. Just do the best you can. Try and have a sharp knife, it'll make it easier. Okay? Just like that. Get rid of the silver. This is just not silver skin, not the same thing. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut these into about 2 to 3 ounce pieces. Just like this. Okay? I'll do this later. And then there's a little bit of fat I missed on that one. Just do the best you can. Doesn't matter. I'm going to keep this at the beginning just for splatter purposes. And then you can use either a rolling pin, a wine bottle, see, whatever, and you're just going to flatten this out. I happen to have a little handy tool. I don't want this to be paper thin, and you can do this inside of a Ziplock bag too. Be careful if you have a stone countertop because you don't want to crack your countertop, so don't go getting crazy. I have a nice thick cutting board here, but I'm still not going wild. And you can also use, it's even less expensive than pork tenderloin, is you can use a pork shoulder and cut them thin slices and then just kind of pound them out just so that they're even, just like that. So I'm going to finish these and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Jana's Kitchen, and as you can see, look at, according to my hand size, I've got these pounded out really well. You can use, like I said, wine bottle or whatever. And so I've got that, and I've got all of that pork tenderloin smacked out, and they're going to be different sizes, and that's what a pork tenderloin does. It is what it is. It kind of pounds out to its own little life. All right, so now I've got some Frank's hot sauce, but you do not have to use hot sauce if you don't want it. But I'm going to put it, I've got some whole buttermilk here in this one, because this kind of does the salt and everything at one. And I've got another pan here with some eggs. And I'm just going to show you 2 different ways of doing these pork tenderloins, okay? Put my glove back on. Kind of turned it inside out there, didn't I? Well, that's fun. Oh well, it's okay. We're going to be messy here. So you just want to stir that. I've got my fork here. So we're going to do it 2 different ways. And then here I've got cracker meal. I just took a sleeve of crackers, just like you buy saltine crackers, and I pounded them out just like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put pork tenderloin in the buttermilk. And I'm going to put one of them, see, look at the shape of this one. I'm going to put one of them in the eggs with the hot sauce, okay? I'm going to set this off to the side for a minute. And then I've got some parchment paper, okay? That's one way of doing it, or you can do it in a Ziploc bag. And I don't do a whole lot of crackers at one time because they're going to get wet. And that way I can just do some more. And so I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to cover that pork tenderloin with cracker crumbs. I'm going to press them down in my hand and I'm going to flip it over just like this. I've got my little rolling pin or wine bottle or whatever, and we're just going to press on there just to make sure that those crumbs stay on there. So we don't want them to go bye-bye. See, they kind of came off on this side, slid off, so that's okay. And so all you do is you go back. And I want you to know that while you're doing this little messy process here, that you can put a piece of parchment paper and put it in between and just take them just like this, what I'm about to show you. Just like this, and put them on parchment paper, put another piece of parchment paper on top, and then pound another one out, put it in a Ziploc bag, throw them in the freezer. You come home from work, or it's a Saturday, a ball game day, whatever, all you have to do is pull them out of the freezer and heat up your oil on the stove, and you can even cook them frozen, and they're cooked maybe on both sides, maybe 2 minutes on each side, and you've got a sandwich. So this is a really good way to do this. So we'll be right back, and I'm going to show you the next way. Okay, and then here's the second way. You can buy cracker meal already at the grocery store. I know, like Foodland here carries this brand, and you just do the same thing. Just spread some cracker. You don't want to put it all on there because it's going to get wet, and then it might not stick very well. And so this is the one with the egg, okay? You just want to get all your nooks and crannies with your cracker meal. And you can also do it in the bag too. And get all of it coated, because this is going to get so crispy and beautiful. Remember, you've already salted with the pepper sauce. If you did not use the Frank's hot sauce or another hot sauce that's salty, then I would suggest you could go ahead and put some salt and pepper either on the meat or into the egg wash or into the buttermilk, just like that, okay? And so we're going to be right back. I'm going to get this set up and we're going to fry them. I have to turn around, get our cameras turned around, and we'll be right back, and I'm going to show you how to do this. All right, we've got everything turned around here real quick. I'm just going to show you how fast this is. This is the one with the saltine crackers, and I've got our oil at 325 degrees. We don't want it too hot, and we don't want it too cold. Did you know the one way to check your oil is if you have a wooden spoon and you stick it in and little bubbles come around the handle? Doesn't matter what shape it is. See, little bubbles, you're ready to go. And you can also drop a few cracker crumbs in. And then here is the one that has the cracker meal on it. And so I'm going to stick that one over on this side, and we're going to compare them. And so see, we want a gentle, we don't want it to go oil too hot then. We want it just to be this nice bubbles around the edge fry. Okay, so we're going to leave our temperature right there at 325, 330, somewhere in there. And so we're going to come back in about 2 minutes, and we're going to turn these. See you in a minute. All right, it's been about 2 minutes, and we're going to check these. Look at that. And that's going to, even though the center of it here isn't quite all the way brown like the edges, it's going to continue to cook with the grease on it. I'm going to check this one. Just about. That one's not quite ready. And so every piece will be a little bit different because they're all kind of different shapes, and your pan placement, all of it makes a difference. And so we'll come back in about another 2 minutes, and I'll probably be taking that one out and then be flipping this one over. And it's a little bit thicker, as you can see. Okay, we are back, and you can see this one is ready to come off. It was a little bit thinner than this one, so this one's still cooking. I flipped this one once, I've got it back on the other side just for a few minutes, and I'm going to turn this one over one more time just to finish getting that brown. And so we're going to go ahead and remove this one. And you can put it onto a wire rack if you want to. And I just quickly turn it over to drain it on the paper towel. Okay. And then this is the funny part. See that little bun? This is how you serve a pork tenderloin. Just like that, okay? And how traditionally they are served is with mustard and pickles. Some restaurants serve them with ketchup, but traditionally the area that I come from, there is no ketchup. It is mustard and pickles, just like this. And then you serve it with the bun. And so we're going to be back in just a few minutes, and I'm going to show you this other one. Okay, we are back for the cracker meal. And see, that looks a little more like a commercial breading. And so you can decide if you like the cracker meal or if you like and prefer the crushed saltines. They're both crackers, but one is just a little bit bigger crumb. And so now we're going to go ahead, and this is exactly how you serve it. Big piece of meat, but you saw how big those pieces of meat were. They really weren't very big. But when you pound them out and you bread them and you add the crackers to them, then typical mustard, hard to come out. We're going to add the pickles. And I would serve this with tater tots, French fries, fried pickles. One of Aaron's favorites, right, Aaron? Just like that. That's a pork tenderloin. I hope you try them at your house real soon. Thanks for stopping by Jana's Kitchen.